What do you think of when you think of empathy? Empathy, if you were to look it up, it's the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to be able to feel what they're feeling, right? And I believe empathy, once you nurture that as a skill, it makes you a more balanced individual. Hi, welcome to Wisdom Living. This is Maggie Lazar. I am a retired nurse practitioner nurse who has been retired in Panama for over 2.5 years, coming up on my third anniversary. So excited and grateful every day for the privilege and the opportunity to be here, be alive, be able to feel, experience it all. I am also the creator of SWRA, Single Women Retiring Abroad, Single Women. We are a group of sassy older ladies who are living our best lives here in Panama. We are intentional about creating community as we age in place. But as I always say, the ultimate goal of SWRA, why SWRA exists, is to create develop a newer model of aging abroad that is sustainable and affordable. And, it's a daily process. But on Thursdays, I want to talk to you. We're going to go a little deeper, right? It's fun to talk about how to move to Panama, moving abroad. So many people are doing the same thing. And because I'm kind of multi-dimensional, yes, I like to do different things. I cook, but I feel the need to chat with my sisters, whoever wants to listen, about the beauty of being a wise woman, an enlightened person. And of course, we are forever developing, evolving, right? And a lot of things come to light as we experience different things, and then it's like our eyes become open to a bunch of different and new things. And to me, that keeps life so interesting. The ability to see beyond the obvious and see and try to put yourself in someone else's shoes and to say, well, if I had experienced those things, would I be acting the same way? And I think maybe I'd say a couple of decades ago, I started thinking along those lines that, well, she's acting like this because it could be, well, may or may not have knowledge of anything happening to this individual. And I tell people all the time, this was a coping mechanism for me to deal with this person's behavior and not internalize it as an attack to me, my persona. Let's say somebody said, oh, I hate you, you ugly, or whatever. Well, I know I'm not ugly, and I know I'm not awful or mean. So I'm like, well, she may be having a bad day because of ABC. Therefore, it helps me to be more understanding and forgiving. That's the beginning of empathy. Now, as we are raising our families and we are dealing with this crazy world, I always say you really need to take time to stop long enough to analyze yourself, your emotions. But if you are like the 95% of us who have been on this wheel of trying to accomplish, attain, grasp, grab, looking for the recognition, trying to earn more and more and more, we don't have time to stop and say, why am I feeling like this? Why is she acting like that? And this is the kind of thing that, kind of affects relationship, whether it's from your significant other or your children or friends, family, acquaintances, employees, bosses. That's human relations. But when we are so engrossed in the day-to-day of life, but those things are kind of self-imposed, or we have just embraced society's expectations of us. And, I can always talk about mothers because I'm a mother, an older woman because I'm an older woman. I was a wife, I was a boss, I was an employee. And I know that if I were to say, okay, I know what society expects of me, but what do I want? I don't remember ever taking the time to talk to myself that way. And I did not have anyone in my circle who thought that way. So I had to come to that knowledge of myself through trial and error and, life, everything that was happening. So as a parent, if you were to take time sometimes to look at your kids' behavior and trying to see what has been my contribution to this behavior, what is the home life like that could cause this kid to act that way? I remember I struggled with my firstborn. And to this day, I tell you, our relationship has been fractured because I wasn't skilled at that time. And, as a new mom, I'm giving myself grace that I didn't know. I didn't have anyone in my circle to really say, hey, honey, just stop and think. So I had to ask for forgiveness that I wasn't prepared for the role. And who is prepared to be a mother, a wife? I did not have those role models in my life. So when I started developing the empathy skill I talked about earlier, like with my kids, when they did something, when I said, go to your room, it was for me. It wasn't for them. It was for me to talk to myself, control my emotions so that I don't lash out right in the moment. Because, once you express those words, you can't take them back. You could say, I'm sorry to the yin yang. But if they were hurtful, the damage is done. That's wisdom, learning to zip it and say, okay, what is going on here? Let me talk to myself. And usually I would emerge later and the anger would have died down. So all the stuff I thought I was going to do, I experienced that in general life. When someone did something or said something to me and I felt my blood boiling, it was like talking to myself, saying, okay, calm down, Maggie, remove yourself from the situation, go sit over there and think it through. Because the thinking through could take me days, it could take me weeks. Well, I'm sorry. I don't know why you're putting a, a thumb down. This little thing is funny. But it was like, let me rehearse in my head how I'm going to respond. And then I'm like, oh, huh? And by the time a few days go by, my response was maybe 1/10 of what I thought I was going to say. That's wisdom. So empathy is the ability to say, well, you know what? This sister may be going through this, and that's why she's acting this way. And I think that, I not just the sister, your husband, your employer, or whomever. And I think that has helped me to be more forgiving. That if somebody did something, I don't take it personally. That's my coping mechanism to say, well, it could be this, this, this. I don't have any knowledge of what it could be, but I am formulating the reasons in my head just to protect my emotions and my response to the situation. Are you following what I'm trying to say? So I think we need to spend time developing. It should be a goal, a wish that we would become more empathetic, to other sisters or anyone, giving them grace. I know sometimes it seems like it's impossible to do that because of how a particular person is acting, and you have to constantly be assessing yourself, your heart, your emotions, in order for you to keep yourself being an empathetic person and understanding, a kind person. You know, those are things that are not easy. And I don't know, some people are born with certain qualities, but I believe that you can groom yourself to becoming a more empathetic, kind, gentler, kinder person. If you take pride in being I tell it like it is, I will snap back at you, I can't tell you anything, sis. You have to want to be empathetic. And I like being empathetic. I like being able to say, well, this may be going on, and I'm going to forgive the sister. I'm going to forgive whoever. And if you need me, doesn't matter what you said to me, because it did not affect me personally. I did not internalize your action, then I feel freer to be kind to you and to be forgiving. Empathy breeds forgiveness. What do you think? So I think I'm going to keep these wisdom living chats to about 15 minutes, so that 15, 16 minutes, so we're not just, chatting just for chatting. And eventually I'm going to turn those into a podcast where it's going to be just 5 minutes of wisdom living. And the first one would be a visual and video, and then the others are going to be audio, because I think we could all use um, some wisdom in our lives. And I feel that it makes me a more balanced, it's going to make you a more balanced person, a less reactive person, that if something happened, oh, you want to snap back. Slow down, sis. Slow down. Because after you snap back, sometimes you feel sorry. Like I said, you could say, I'm sorry to the yin yang. But if with your words, they were so abrasive and hurtful, you can't take those back, sis. That's wisdom. Slow down. Take a minute or two. Take a deep breath. Remove yourself from the situation. And then you're going to see in a different light. All right, sis. I hope I'm going to try to get a little bit deeper, and I know it's going to take some of you a little time to get on this one, because you're used to me talking about, like I just did a video yesterday about telephone, the practical things of moving and becoming an expat. Yes, they are super important, but I want to take you a little bit deeper into the emotional realm, and I hope you're okay with that and you're going to come along, because we can all benefit from supporting each other, from being empathetic, understanding. It makes you a more balanced and calmer, gentler person. Don't you want to be that kind of person? You might say, oh no, hell to the no. I am proud to be the way I am. Well then, sis, you do you. Okay? So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's still single women retiring abroad. We're still on our way and hoping to get to 20,000. I don't know when that's going to happen. I know I can have a viral video that takes me over just like that. But anyway, whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. All right? I will talk to you soon in the next video. God loves you. You know I love you. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bye.